All right, let's talk about something that's literally the hidden engine of our entire digital world, software testing. I mean, it's the reason your favorite apps actually work, most of the time. So let's just dive right in. I mean, come on, you've been there, right? You're in the middle of doing something super important. Maybe you're sending a message, trying to book a ticket, or you're just about to beat a level in a game, and bam, the app just freezes up, glitches out, or poof, it's gone. It's so frustrating, isn't it?
Well, believe it or not, there's an entire profession out there dedicated to stopping that exact moment of frustration from ever happening. We're talking about software testers. These are the unsung heroes, the quality assurance pros who are basically professional problem hunters, finding all those pesky issues before they ever get to you.
So, to really get why what they do is so important, let's take a quick look at what happens when things, when they go wrong.
That little crash, it might just feel like a small annoyance to you. But for the company that actually made the app, a buggy product can be a total disaster. We're talking a flood of one-star reviews, sales dropping overnight, and a reputation that can take months, sometimes even years to fix. In today's world, quality really is everything.
And that brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today. Why is testing just so incredibly valuable? Because it's about way more than just, finding what's broken.
So what are the real benefits of catching these bugs early? I mean, this question really gets to the core of it. The goal isn't just about fixing problems, it's about stopping them from ever becoming problems to begin with. Okay, so let's break it down. First off, it's all about making sure the product is high quality. Simple as that. This helps get rid of risks before they blow up into major disasters. And here's the kicker. It saves a ton of money in the long run. Think about it. A bug found during development might cost, say, $100 to fix. But that exact same bug, if it's found by users after the launch, it could cost $10,000 or more to fix. But really, at the end of the day, it all boils down to one thing: creating the absolute best experience for you, the person using it.
Okay, so how do testers actually pull this off? Well, you might think it's just one thing, but you'd be surprised. It's not a single activity. It's like a whole universe of different strategies and approaches.
And when I say a universe, I'm not kidding. There are over 100 different types of testing. Yeah, 100. But don't worry, we're not going to try to cover all of them. Instead, let's just focus on a few of the big ones to give you a really clear picture of how it works. All right, first up, let's talk manual versus automation. Think of manual testing like a detective, a person meticulously clicking through every single part of an app, exploring all the nooks and crannies, trying to break it in all sorts of creative ways. Automation, on the other hand, is like building a robot that can run thousands of checks at lightning speed, again and again and again, without ever getting tired. And here's the thing, you really need both to do the job right. Next, let's look at how much you actually know about what you're testing. With what's called black box testing, you're basically acting like a regular user. You can see the buttons, you can see what happens when you click them, but the code on the inside, it's a total mystery. A black box. But then you have white box testing. This is more like being a mechanic with the hood of the car popped open. You're looking right at the engine, examining all the internal wiring and code directly.
Then you've got the difference between what the software does and how well it does it. So functional testing is pretty straightforward. It asks questions like, does the login button actually log me in? Simple enough. But non-functional testing, that asks a totally different kind of question. It asks, okay, but does the login button still work when 1 million people are all trying to use it at the exact same time? See the difference? And you absolutely, positively need both to build a truly great product.
Now you might think finding these bugs is just like some random treasure hunt, but it's not like that at all. It's actually a super structured process with a really clear beginning, middle, and end.
So how do teams stay organized through all of this? Well, pros follow a framework called the STLC. That's the software testing lifecycle. You can think of it like a roadmap that makes sure all the testing is thorough, efficient, and actually effective right from the very beginning to the very end.
So, how does it work? Well, it all starts with really understanding what the software is supposed to do in the first place. From there, you build a plan and create what are called test cases. They're kind of like a script for a movie, telling you exactly what to test. Then comes the fun part, actually running those tests. And when you find a bug, and you will, it gets logged and tracked until it's totally squashed. Finally, the whole thing wraps up with a report on the entire effort. It's a complete journey, all the way from the initial plan to the final proof of quality.
So after hearing about this whole process, you might be wondering, what kind of person actually becomes a software tester? Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, who is this career for? Really? And do you have to be some kind of coding genius? That's a super common question, and honestly, the answer might surprise you. Look, technical skills are great, they're definitely valuable, but you absolutely do not need to be a master coder to get started in this field.
This career is actually perfect for anyone who wants to get into the tech industry, but maybe isn't super interested in being a full-time coder. So if you're the kind of person who just has a knack for finding what's wrong with things, if you love solving puzzles, and if you really thrive in a fast-paced, challenging environment, well, this could be a fantastic fit for you.
But okay, besides just being a good fit, what makes people actually stay? What makes this a really rewarding career path? You know, this quote really sums it up perfectly. There's this incredibly deep satisfaction you get from knowing that your work, your attention to detail, is directly making a product better, more reliable, and just more enjoyable for thousands, maybe even millions of people. In a way, you're the guardian of quality.
And hey, let's not forget the practical stuff, right? Software testing is a field that's always in demand. I mean, think about it. As long as people are creating software, we're going to need people to test it. That means you get solid job security, a good salary, and tons of opportunities to grow and advance in your career.
So let's bring this all back to you for a second. Just think about it. Are you that person? The one who always spots the typo on the restaurant menu? Or the person who just notices when something feels a little bit off?
If that sounds familiar, if that sounds like you, then maybe that little knack you have for finding flaws isn't just some random personality quirk. It could actually be the foundation for a really rewarding, successful career, one where you help make the digital world run just a little more smoothly for every single one of us.